Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
So I want to welcome you guys to Conway Glass today, and this morning we're going to share everything that we can about Conway Glass with you. And right now we are in my studio, the stained glass studio, where I build, design, cut and fabricate stained glass windows. So the project that you see here in front of me and in front of you, this is phase 2 for Drunken Jack's down in Murrells Inlet. So what we are to the point now where we need to add our reinforcing bars. So our reinforcing bar stabilizes the window because they have a lot of traffic there at Drunken Jack's, and there's always children going to push on it and everything. So these bars run vertically. This is a steel bar. Okay, and it has been dipped in tin. And because it's been dipped in tin, that's why that we can use our solder. Now I have to get the bar ready because the bar attaches to the solder joints along the window, and that's what keeps the window very rigid. So we start out with just a little bit of flux, or it's an acid, and we place it on the steel, and then you'll hear a little bit of a tsh. Hear that? And then we hold it there and let the steel get hot, and then we pick straight up, just like that, straight up. But because these lines, they run like this and then one runs like this, when you get this in the light, Katie, it moves.
It's so cool.
The water actually moves when you get it in the light. We have a lot of fun. Barbara and I have a lot of fun. We find ourselves almost enjoying ourselves too much.
I can see why,
because
though.
this is how we make our living. Yeah. And I was taught to do stained glass 44 years ago when I worked for another man. And rather than being laid off for the winter, I went to work with his wife who did stained glass windows for the company. And then I really found my joy was designing and fabricating stained glass window and making people cry.
That's a good thing to have on your resume.
I've done my job.
You've done your job. And I love that you guys, after all these years, are able to share your knowledge with so many people who have never thought that they could do stained glass.
Right.
You teach workshops, you have all these videos on social media for free that it's just out there if you want to learn.
Right, and we have our classroom. Probably our most popular class for the novice is our make and take class. The make and take class, I cut all the glass for you. Your piece, it's ready for you when you get here. And then I teach you in 4 hours the fabrication process. And
wow.
You leave with a piece of sun catcher.
Well, for someone watching right now that either wants to come take a class with you guys, wants to come by and shop all the gorgeous pieces you have here, where are you located and where can people find your website?
So we are at 708 12th Avenue in Conway. You can get a hold of us or go to our website to register for a class at conwayglass.com. We also,
social media.
We have our social media.
You have to check it out.
And you need to check out. We have over 1,000 videos, 31,000 subscribers. And on our YouTube channel, which is Arty, ARTYRV, Glass Studio, can go there and actually learn how to do stained glass by watching our videos.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, guys, one thing about me is my hair might be fake, but when it comes to products, I really love using things that are natural. So that's why today I'm joined by Nicole from Earthy Things. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
We got some soaps in front of us. I just want to take a sniff, but you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so my name's Nicole. I own Earthy Things here at the beach. So I make natural soaps, body butters, herbal oils, lotion bars, just anything natural.
What started this? I feel like everyone has a story there.
So when my girls were young, they are 15 and 18 now, but when they were younger, I really got into, you know, just the things that you're putting in your body, on your body, the side effects, you know, all that good stuff. So I would always just try to find more natural ways. And then about 2 years ago, I saw a video of soap being made. And I was like, yeah.
I could do that.
I could do that. And I literally did. I made the list of all the things that I needed. I bought it all. And, you know, when I started out, it wasn't as glorious as it is now. But I kept going, you know,
And look at you now. We have these gorgeous soaps, and I love the colors that you use too.
So I use natural clays as colorants.
Really?
Yes, so it's spirulina, charcoal, rose clay, turmeric, any kind of natural clays. And then I also incorporate, in the green one, there is real avocado puree, which is really good for your skin. In the multicolored one with the pink, there's banana puree. I use natural essential oils as scents, so yeah.
Love it. Okay, well, where can people find out more information and shop your stuff?
So I do have a website. It's Earthy Things with a Z,
Gotcha.
LLC.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram.
All that good stuff?
Yes.
All right, well, check her out, guys. I am so excited to be in the kitchen today with David Peterson from Peterson's world famous hot dogs and sausage dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
All
I'm
right.
glad to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here. You've got a nicely dressed hot dog here.
Thank you so
And then we
much.
have one that does not have all the fixins quite yet. But while you're fixing this up, why don't you tell me a little bit about why you started this business and how you got to where you are today?
Well, the reason why I started this business because my grandmother, she actually ran a hot dog stand in New York City.
Really?
Yes, and she had people line up all around the block. So I decided, why not start a hot dog stand in South Carolina?
Yeah.
So when I graduated school, my parents, they invested into a hot dog cart. And, you know, I got all the licensing, the permits, and everything that you have to do when you start a food business. And it was all up from there, and then I just kept going with it.
All right, so how often are you at your hot dog cart and where can people find it?
Well, we there for at least about 6 days a week. We pretty much take Sundays off, but we set up Sundays sometime. But they can find us on Irby Street, right at by the Planet Fitness, and the tobacco market is where we set up at, right on the grass platform. That's where we set up at. So you can find us there 6 days a week.
All right, well, why don't you go ahead and tell me
Alrighty.
what you're going to be putting on here.
All right, first we're gonna put some of this world famous hot dog chili. And this is the best chili that you'll ever taste ever in your life. So we're gonna start out with that. We're gonna put the chili on that hot dog. You gotta put the bedding on it. This is the bedding for the hot dog.
What do you say to people that just want a plain hot dog?
Just want a plain hot dog? I say you just want a plain hot dog. You don't want something that's good on
Yeah,
world
that's
famous
what
chili?
I'm thinking.
Come on now.
You got to dress it up.
Then you're gonna put this ketchup. Got to have
Love
that ketchup.
it.
Got to have
Ketchup,
it.
mustard.
Then you're gonna put mustard. Some people just like a line. Let's do a little line of mustard.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got to have them onions. Sometimes when I ask people, they say, "Do you want an onion?" They're like, "Yeah, I want some onion." I'm like, "Okay, relax, calm down, calm down. We're gonna put some onions on there for you."
Perfect.
So you got to have onions. Got to put the onions on,
Beautiful.
and that's how you make a perfect hot dog.
As simple as that.
Simple as that. Simple as that. and
All
it tastes
right.
delicious. The flavor is out of this world.
I love it.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm so excited to be rejoined by Quadre Stuckey. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm glad to be here. Nice to see you again. Thank
Oh,
you.
of course, of course. We've got a lot to talk about. He's obviously brought some stuff to show us today. But give me an update on what you've been doing for the last couple months.
Well, I mean, life's been amazing. I've been doing my shows. I published a new book. I have new artwork. I also got engaged recently too, so
Very
that's new. That's
exciting.
exciting. And you know, I'm just getting ready for what 2024 has to bring and offer. So I'm excited for that too.
And one thing I know about you is you do a ton of research.
Yes.
So that took a lot to go into this book, huh?
Yes, it is. So this is my new book right here, Gullah Paintings 3. So inside the actual book, it's an art educational book for children. In the book, I actually talk about the history of Gullah. I also talk about, you know, the seafood culture, where we do a lot of shrimping, a lot of red rice, a lot of okra. I talk about a lot of the superstitions, like the bottle trees, the buhag, the haint blues. And I talk about the artwork, because a lot of people love my artwork. So I talk about the artwork and then the spirituality and the connections we have to Barbados and our architecture. So this is a very good book to add to your collection if you don't have a book collection. This is a good piece to start with a book collection.
So for people who may not know who you are,
Yes.
the very few people out there,
Yes.
talk to me about your art, how you got into art, and where you draw inspiration from.
So my art is based upon my culture, Gullah Geechee culture. And what Gullah Geechee culture is pretty much the enslaved Africans that were brought over from different parts of West Africa, the Ivory Coast and Gold Coast. They were isolated on sea islands like through the Carolinas and, you know, like Myrtle Beach, area where we're at now. And pretty much it's just us staying closest to our West African heritage. So that's why I draw a lot of my inspiration from when it comes to like my paintings. I like to use a lot of bright, bold, tropical colors because when you look at the work, I want you to feel excited. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel good about yourself. And you know, I do a lot of paintings on women because women played a big role in my life. Like, you know, my mother, my grandmother, and my aunts. So that's like where a lot of my inspiration comes from. Also just that everyday low country lifestyle, like being by the beach, fishing, shrimping, you know, just enjoying the scenery with a loved one. So that's where it comes from.
Okay. So when you were finding inspiration for your book, doing the research, was there anything that you've learned along the way that kind of shocked you or surprised you a bit?
Yeah, so there was certain things that I didn't know about certain superstitions. So for example, like we have something called like the buhag that rides you at night when you're asleep and you can't move. So really scientifically it's called when you sit there and you can't move
sleep
but you're awake.
paralysis?
Yeah, sleep paralysis.
It's happened to me before.
But our name for it is buhag. So that's just kind of like the translation when it comes to our culture to scientifically they're calling it sleep paralysis. So that was something, you know, that kind of stuck out to me, showing how close those things kind of, you know,
Yeah.
combine and come together.
I've been visited by that before.
Ooh,
It's
man.
pretty scary.
It is. You're up, you can't move. It's
like-
like you're in a scary movie, a horror flick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the bottle trees. I don't know the
Yes.
superstition behind that.
So what you put blue bottle trees in your yard. The reason why is it sucks in the evil spirit. So let's say like if a hag tries to come and get you, instead of getting into the house, you know, to put you in that paralysis, it'll actually go into the blue bottle tree and then it gets locked in there. And then when the sunlight comes out in the daytime, it'll actually burn up in the sun. And then
Oh.
sometimes, like people say, they hear a superstition of like it whistling outside. That's really like the wind hitting the bottle at a certain angle, and it's sounding like the buhag was captured inside of it.
Spooky.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, we have to talk about sweetgrass baskets, of
Yes,
course.
definitely.
Huge, huge, huge.
Yes.
All across the Low Country and here in the Grand Strand.
Always, yes. So I had to bring in one of sweetgrass
Beautiful.
baskets. Yes.
Beautiful.
So what the sweetgrass basket actually consists of is sweetgrass, bulrush, pine needle, and then it's an old West African sewing tradition that we still carry today. And if you can notice, each sweetgrass has its own specific pattern and design on it. And then it was used traditionally to transport rice, fruits, vegetables, and sometimes sewn tight enough it could transport and hold water.
Because they're very strong.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.